Okay, I've put the cover back on. I had to take the oil pump off to make easier alignment. Slid it on here, slid the timing thing back in, took pictures of where it was when it was sitting in here. I realigned this to straight up, which is where it's supposed to be. Somebody's absolutely been in here. There should be silicone in the keyway. But either way, line that up, put this in to where it was when this was over here. Brought that up. Now, this is straight up, this is straight down. Everything should go back together without a problem. Taking out the, oh well, that thing I was telling you about with the wires chewed up, that's my knock sensor. Something got up underneath there, ate one of the wires. That had nothing to do with why this thing did what it did. Now that I've got everything aligned, I'm not going to bother getting my socket. This will do the trick. And the rag is going to stop it from scarring the crank. Well, I did want to look at one thing. These pistons are marked front to rear, which they don't appear to be. So, since they're not marked, and I don't want to take a chance of accidentally, because you know it would be an accident. A lot of engines have a mark on the pistons to tell you what's the front of the engine. So I've got all the rods numbered, but I don't have any of the pistons marked. So I'm going to use number 1. And I'm just going to put a little mark right on the edge of the piston. And that mark will always be the front. Because I am most likely going to go back with and we set the top of the one pointing to the front. And if you're worried about creating a hot spot in the piston, just hit it with a wire brush. Geez. sure there's a expert out there again. They can tell me that if you just look at such and such and such and such, those pistons hardly move. I mean, there's not a lot of slap. I'm going to check the bore on this and everything. Alright, got all my pistons marked, all of them to the front, so I know what's what. Now it's time to start taking them out, taking them loose, taking them apart. Let's get to figure out what socket I need. Nope. Nope. There it is. Those bolts don't come out. Well, I thought I was in trouble there for a minute. All I saw was that, and I'm like, oh shit. But that's not an oh shit, that's just a, yeah, somewhere along the line she's been a little warm. Maybe why it was tore down once before. See what a bearing looks like. Oh my goodness, that ain't bad at all. I mean, just a tiny bit of wear. It cranks as smooth as can be. Top is just like the bottom. no ridge, but here's our piston. There's that mark where the crank was just coming past it and just clipping it. It wasn't much of a sound coming from the bottom. It was just a sound coming from the bottom. So, I may still take it to the machine shop and have them check it out for me. But I hate to, in a sense, for the simple fact that I know they're going to rack up a bill on me to make up for the clusterfuck that was my Jeep engine. The cams kept going bad in it because they told the machine shop the wrong springs to put in with that cam, and it was too much pressure. So yeah, these bearings are fine. I'm gonna bet I find this all the way down. The piston skirts. And a little bit right there.
Oh, shit. That was really, really cheap, which I'm not that cheap. This is just whole work truck. But I do have a line where I say, nah, I'm not doing that cheap. What's I got nothing left over here? My rag is in the chain. Oh no! Got a little snag there. Yeah, order a piston. Now I'll mic the cylinder first. And if I ain't got, I bet there ain't 1,000 taper in that thing. Throw it on the floor. Yeah, again, that one's fine. In. Very little wear on the pistons. And again, that one looks very nice, huh? Yeah, the razor just wore out. We're not gonna worry about it, 'cause I am replacing them. But none of these are showing excessive wear. Just the one that hydro locked. Put it in the sand cap.
will show you right there. Nice shiny spot. That's where the crank was hitting the pistons. Now, since I don't think it bent the crank itself, I'm going to bet that it bent the rod. So, I'm going to take out the last two pistons, and then we're going to end this. We found the problem, and we can look at all the other pistons. Like this is number 4. There's no mark over here, over here. This is number 1. You can see the shiny spot right there. This is number 2. There's no indication of anything hitting. In fact, okay, look at the rod. This is number 1. Notice a bow. It's bowing that direction. It bent the rod. I hope I got this in frame. You can see the bow in it. I'll bring up another piston just to compare it to. That rod is just as straight as can be. So that absolutely answers the question as to what happened. She bent a rod. Okay, I'm going to take out the last two pistons. We're going to call this a night. I'm tired and hungry. Okay, I got a good one for you here. See that bearing? I don't know if I can do this. Can you hear that? That is just as rough as it can be. I've never seen a bearing do that. Also, when I push this side all the way down, it pops up on the other side. It also does not fit tight. Now, that's the journal right here that bearing came off of. But there's barely one little groove right there, and I can just barely catch my finger on it. I've never seen the likes, and both sides are like that. The crank, the piston side, and cap side. And to have the crank look that good, I may need 2 rods. I think this is going to come down to I'm going to have to mic things and see exactly what's going on, and I'm going to bring my mic out and check a few things, and I'll pull the crank out of this thing, take this piston and number 1 to the machine shop, have them check them out. As far as I can tell, the cam's fine. All the bearings look basically like new. No excessive wear on anything. I mean, that's the bottom. That's the side that takes all the force. So, okay. I just thought I'd throw that in at the end. So, like, share, subscribe. Subscribe. I think it's over there. Yes, subscribe's over there. Share's over there. So, either way, all that stuff aside, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, tell a dozen. You've seen this from beginning to end. It's probably way too long of a video, but hey, I'm going to post it anyway. I don't know if that bolt that was over here on this side was supposed to be an Allen head, but like I say, I'll weld that back together, seal it up, it'll be fine. And I'm going to make sure I get a new timing chain, new oil pump, all new bearings, rings. I'm going to hone it. And only other thing I got to do is check cam bearings and the balancer bearings, or counterbalance shaft. It was so much simpler before they had to put all that stuff in there because they didn't build them right, in my opinion. So, have a good day. Be kind to your friends. Be kind to other people. And hope they be kind to you. Thanks for watching. Bye.